Hockey Day in Saskatchewan is really a big event for Saskatchewan hockey because it just enables us to promote the game of hockey. It enables us to encourage communities to really band together and raise money for capital projects in their community. And that's what we've really promoted, really are encouraging communities to do upgrades in the community, upgrades in their arena, because we want to have good facilities for our kids to play hockey.
For Hillmont, I think anywhere in Canada, to be honest, especially small town Saskatchewan, hockey's a big part. The heart of the community has always been the hockey rink. The Hockey Day in Saskatchewan, I didn't know a whole lot about it before it came here, before we applied, but to have a whole province pay attention to us for a weekend is, something that doesn't happen to Hillmont very often.
Last April, our Minor Hockey Association applied to SHA to host Hockey Day in Saskatchewan 2020. And from there, it's kind of grown. It's been planned very well and come to fruition this weekend. My dad always used to say, if you don't have a school or an arena in your community, you don't have anything. So to be able to fill this rink this week and have SHA put faith in us in a small town like Hillmont to host such a great event and the community come together, it's great to have hockey in Hillmont, not only for the kids, but it's great for us parents too.
We sold out the Lloydminster Stockade, which was a great accomplishment, and we had a lot of big sponsors come on board for a prime rib supper and had Marty McSorley, Wade Redden. We had a local TV announcer do the host job, and it just brought in a bigger community to support us, which was a lot of fun.
It's great to see the tradition and the rink carrying on. Like, it was an old rink that I grew up in playing. To see the people I grew up with now with their kids playing and they're running the rink and everything's kind of continuing on. So it's awesome to see. I had such a fortunate childhood and lived at the rink here in Hillmont. So it's a lot of great memories.
I think it's really important that you celebrate the community rinks all across Canada. Each one of these communities, the kids get an opportunity to play. The kids get an opportunity to fit in the community. You've got other people in the community that coach and they help keep the rinks up and they generate money and their revenues so these kids can play. These kids never forget those moments, the friendships that they have and the people that they're associated with within the community.
There's a lot of proud people from here. There's a lot of proud hockey players from here. And this community is proud of this rink and everything that we do here. So the opportunity to have all of Saskatchewan focus on this is something we're very proud of.
I would like to thank our committee. We had our meetings during our kids' hockey practices. We were here through supper, we were here past bedtime, and everybody took their special talent that they had and ran with it. It was a really good experience.
When we select a community to host it, it's really been a real benefit for them to bring hockey that they don't normally see, to bring in guest speakers, just to encourage them to band together and work as a community in a fundraising effort. And you can really see passion, you really see people banding together, and it's awesome.
Hillmont's very honored to represent not only Saskatchewan, but the sport of hockey. It's been great for these families to have a place to go, to feel a part of something bigger. And we really thank SHA for granting us this opportunity and believing in a small community like this. It was like 10 years of fundraising that we managed in one weekend.
Welcome to the SHA Podcast, presented by Direct West.
Welcome back to the SHA Podcast, presented by Direct West. I'm your host, Jake Murray, and for this episode, we sit down with Saskatchewan Hockey Association's Chief Medical Officer, Dr. Cole Beavis. Dr. Beavis, thanks for joining us.
Thanks very much, Jake. Happy to sit down and chat.
So, Cole, first off, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and your background in medicine?
For sure, yeah. So Saskatchewan kid, born and raised, played minor hockey in Saskatoon, and was kind of a rink rat growing up. Actually, I worked at the Blades as a stick boy. I was 12 or 13 years old. We had season tickets, and one day somebody didn't show up, I think, and they asked if I wanted to fill water bottles. So I hung around the rink a lot, and honestly, through that is where I got interested in sports medicine. Had some really good mentors, some of the current staff at the Blades that are still there, Dr. Cyprian and Wani, and Blaine White, who was their athletic therapist at the time, and kind of transitioned from just helping out in the equipment side to helping out more on the medical side. And that's really what led me to medical school. And once I got into medical school, I sort of knew where I was headed. So I I trained at U of S in med school, did orthopedic surgery residency here, and then went away to do some specialty training in sports medicine in Texas and in Winnipeg. And been back now for 12 or 13 years, just practicing orthopedic sports medicine here in Saskatoon. Been really lucky to stay involved with sports locally and do some international work as well. Been able to work with Team Canada or Hockey Canada's team physician on a couple of occasions, World Juniors and Under 18 teams. So sports medicine and hockey in particular are near and dear to my heart, and then go way back to early days playing minor hockey.
Excellent. Now, being appointed as Chief Medical Officer by Saskatchewan Hockey Association, can you explain to the listeners what your involvement is with the Return to Hockey plan?
Yeah, so I really just came on board this summer, where COVID was obviously well underway, and the SHA staff, Kelly, your director, I'm sure working hard with all of you to get the wheels in motion, and the Ministry of Health and the government had their business response team that I think really worked closely with the SHA. So, all the credit really goes to SHA staff and the ministry liaison people who really developed the Return to Hockey program. And when I came on, the work was largely done. I think it was a bit of a sounding board, maybe for Kelly at times, and tried to just kind of fill in a few gaps. But all the hard work was really done ahead of time. We're starting to do a little bit more national liaison work. So the Hockey Canada has coordinated some meetings with the chief medical officers from the provincial branches around the country, and trying to make sure that we're not all reinventing the wheel and duplicating some hard work. Everyone does have their regional variation, so it's not like it can be applied across the board, but trying to be a little bit of a liaison for Saskatchewan to the rest of the country in terms of the Return to Hockey plan.
For sure. Now, over the past couple of weeks, we've seen an increase in confirmed COVID cases across our province. For those heading to the rinks, what advice do you have for them to keep safe while in the facilities?
Yeah, no, it's quite a bit disturbing, quite honestly. Just very recently, these last week or so, our numbers are kind of going through the roof. We're really on kind of that curves that we all saw, Italy and New York going on in the spring, and our wave just was more delayed. So the fall surge is definitely upon us, and it's just the reminder there that we all need to be working together to try to control the spread of COVID, for our own health in general, but obviously to try and keep the hockey reopening plan moving forward. I think everyone just has to really be vigilant with all of these precautions that we're all probably sick of hearing about. But the truth is that the distancing, the hand washing, the mask wearing, staying home if you're sick, those are the things that the few tools we have, and that's the reality. I mean, we don't have a lot of tools to cure COVID, to prevent COVID. We don't have a vaccine yet, and so it's about trying to control the spread with the public health measures that, again, people might be sick of hearing them, but they're the things that can work. The thing about facilities, and I think individually the rinks are really working hard. The policies that SHA have tried to put forth, those are all great. And maybe the biggest challenge, I'm a minor hockey parent, so I take my guy to the rink, and you want to visit with the other parents, and so all those social aspects of hockey that we all really cherish, a little bit be put on hold right now. And hanging around the rink isn't really the right thing to do. And the dressing rooms where the kids would run around and play and laugh is really not the time to be doing it. So it's unfortunately kind of get in and get out, and enjoy your practice or your game, and try and stay safe, and hopefully by doing that we'll be able to keep hockey open and not have to slow down or stop.
Absolutely. Now, on the topic of face coverings, we wanted to get your medical opinion on the use of face coverings and the benefit of them during a pandemic.
Yeah, so there's some things that are known for sure. There's some things that are highly recommended based on experts, and then there's always going to be some differing opinions and differing viewpoints out there. And so if you think about the things we know for sure, is that this SARS-CoV-2, which is the strain of the coronavirus that causes COVID, is spread by respiratory droplets, or possibly even aerosol, which is the smallest form of droplets. So we know that for sure. I don't think anybody debates that. And so they are generated from the nose and the mouth with coughing, laughing, sneezing, even just talking, eating. The barrier that's in front of the nose or mouth is going to reduce the spread of those droplets. And I don't think anybody really debates that. And so again, we only have so many tools before us. So anything that we can reduce the spread of the droplets will reduce the spread of COVID-19. So, the challenge with science is that the reason science is that there has to be an experimental process where things are tested, that has to be replicated, and then you can draw conclusions and publish those results. And in this era where information is required instantly and social media and word travels, science takes time to kind of catch up to that. And so, there'd often be people who would argue, well, where's the evidence? Where's the science? And I mean, the good news, we're 7-8 months into it now, and there certainly are some well done published studies. They're still small and have some limitations, but there's no studies that show really any detrimental effect of masks. So it's just hard to say that the common sense test doesn't apply, and the science, the best science we have, certainly applies. And the CDC and Health Canada, really it's pretty unanimous. And I know there's people that don't feel that way. There's maybe always people can have different viewpoints, but feel pretty strongly masking makes a difference.
For sure. Well, a follow-up question to that would be chatter on social media about face coverings and that they may cause respiratory or other illnesses with prolonged use. For our listeners, what are your thoughts to those claims?
Yeah, so again, there's different viewpoints and some practical examples that I would cite. So I'm a surgeon and spend 8 hours a day in the operating room for years. And now essentially every healthcare worker goes to work and is continuously masked their entire shift. So nurses work 12 hours straight. So, there's quite a lot of precedent out there of people being able to wear masks for long stretches of time without any ill effects. And so I'm really not aware of any scientific evidence to say that it causes or aggravates any respiratory condition. In terms of mandatory masking, there's always going to be exceptions to every rule, and there are some accepted exceptions and people that may qualify for exemptions that have, kind of chronic severe respiratory illnesses with low oxygen levels, maybe have some mental health or anxiety issues that having a face covering may provoke their symptoms, and small children. So there are some exceptions, but for the vast majority of the population, there's really no ill effects to masking, and I would feel strongly about that. Excellent.
So also rink concessions have become a topic of interest for many of our listeners. We know that concessions operating under the government's Reopen Saskatchewan plan for restaurants, but for those looking to grab a burger or coffee, what would your recommendations be for eating and drinking at facilities given the face covering policies? Yeah, so with the 3 major cities there in Saskatchewan with mandatory masking indoors, there's going to be more and more experience with kind of managing that scenario, because restaurants, at least for now, are still open. And I think the guidelines and common sense would also indicate that when you're in close quarters dining, so you're sitting at a table, kind of by definition, you can't really be physically distant. So you ought to only be doing that with someone that's in your bubble. So your family bubble or your immediate bubble. So when the mask is off, having your bite to eat or whatever, you're probably only doing that with someone that's in your bubble, or you maintain that distance, right? So it's an odd time where we can all stand in line 3 feet apart or 2 meters apart or whatever it is at the grocery store. And you can imagine people standing 6 feet apart there having their coffee and maybe chatting just with distance applied. For sure. Well, I think that covers just about all the major questions from our listeners. Do you have any final thoughts as we head into hockey in mid-November here? Yeah, I think the biggest thing that, especially with this big surge, and, it's very acute in the media, that I hope people are getting that message. We're seeing it. Manitoba's got a little bit worse than us, but people feel maybe we're just a week or 2 behind where they are. That now's not the time to kind of get shut down fatigue, if you will. Like, we've all been feeling this for 7 months, and people are, I think, rightfully a little bit tired of being told what to do and having to maintain all these restrictions and limitations on our normal lifestyles. But now's not the time to let down, if you will. I think if we can get through these next couple of winter months, just the biology of these viruses, respiratory viruses, seem to be worse in the winter, and it's certainly following that pattern. So just hopefully try and stay the course, and that's the way that hopefully we'll control COVID in the community, and specific to hockey, the way we'll hopefully be able to keep people on the ice enjoying the game we love. For sure. Well, Cole, I imagine like many medical professionals these days, you are extra busy. So we really appreciate you coming on and all your help building the return to hockey plan. It's much appreciated.
Yeah, no problem. My pleasure. Yeah, everyone stay safe out there.
For the most up-to-date information on Saskatchewan's return to hockey plan, head to www.sha.sk.ca/return to hockey. That was another installment of the SHA podcast presented by Direct West.
This has been an SHA podcast presented by Direct West.
That's my fam, I'll hold them down forever. Us against the world, we can battle whoever. Together ain't no way we gon' fail. You know I got your back, just like a turtle shell. Nobody do it better. All my brothers tryna get some cheddar. We all wanna cut like the shredder. Me and my bros come together for the dough. Bought the orange Lamborghini, call it Michelangelo. With the nunchuck dough, and I'm pulling up slow. When we fall up in the party, they know anything goes. Check my Rolex, they say I'm the man of the hour. All this green in my pockets, you can call it turtle power. Ain't nothing that could come in between me and my brothers. We all around if it's going down. It's just us, all for one. Yeah, you hearin' right, our business done. We disappear into the night. Came up together, so we all down for the fight. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Family ain't nothing strong as that. And I'll be posted word as strong as that. Brothers by my side, city on my back. Real heroes, that's what the people want. They ain't born, gotta create them. Saying we gone soon as we save them. That's part of the plan. By my side, I'ma keep my brothers. Live or die, man, we need each other. Try to tell them you don't wanna go to war with us. We beat them, young riders, raised in the gutter, really started from the bottom. Hey, we all we ever had, we all we ever needed, and we undefeated. We be going hard and make it look easy. Give me the whole pie, real cheesy. I told you, girl, no, but you might not believe me. She taking pictures for me, told her smile for me. Pass her off, I'm a real team player. Bandana on my face like a gangster. Knock, knock, you about to get shell-shocked. Knock, knock, you about to get shell-shocked. Knock, knock, you about to get shell-shocked. Knock, knock, you about to get shell-shocked.
This year is presenting some very unique challenges for all of us in society as we deal with the COVID-19 situation. It is also presenting some challenges as we look to start the hockey season and the officiating season. We will all need to follow the guidelines established for us by our local health authorities and follow the guidelines established for us in hockey in our back to play protocols in our home province. Be sure to follow information on your branch webpage and be aware of the protocol in your province. Let's all be prepared to return to the ice, whether that may be in a week, a month, or a bit longer. Take some time to prepare physically and take some time to prepare mentally as well, reviewing your rule book and other resources as you prepare to register with your branch. We are all excited as we look forward to getting back on the ice. Let's be ready to go when the opportunity is given to us.
I'd like to welcome you back to another hockey season. The Western Hockey League and our partners, BC Hockey, Hockey Alberta, Saskatchewan Hockey Association, and Hockey Manitoba are excited to welcome you to another season of the Western Officiating Branch Partnership. This year, we're excited to bring to you many different aspects of officiating to help you reach your officiating goals. With the help of our branch partners, as well as current and former NHL officials, we hope to provide you with many of the tools needed to become a successful official. Let's hear from some of our partners.
Welcome to the 2020-21 season. I hope this message finds everyone and their families safe and healthy. This season is going to be like none other before, and I encourage our officials to embrace it with an open mind. Officials are ambassadors for the game, and your leadership on and off the ice will be more important than ever before as hockey returns to our communities. Things will look different this year, from our clinics to our arenas to the game itself on the ice. More than ever, our motto of officiating being about more than dropping pucks will be relevant. We would like to thank the WHL, our fellow Western branches, on committing to another season's worth of video development resources by way of this series, and hope it provides some support as we navigate through our new normal. Good luck this season, and thank you for your participation.
Welcome to another season of the Western Branches Officiating Development Partnership. At Hockey Alberta, as across the world, we have been affected by the recent pandemic. And although there's been a minor delay in rolling out our in-person clinics, we are excited to be in the development season of our return to hockey plan. And we hope to be playing full hockey games with players, coaches, parents, fans, and of course us, officials, sooner rather than later. Enjoy the videos assembled by our partners at the Western Hockey League and have a great hockey season.
Hi everyone, my name is Trent Say, Manager of Officiating Development for the Saskatchewan Hockey Association, and I want to welcome you back to another hockey season. This year is going to look a little bit different due to COVID-19, with some changes to the certification process and some new policies and procedures. But we want to make sure that we get everybody back on the ice and returning to hockey in a safe way to enjoy this game. With the sudden end to last season, I know it was tough on a lot of officials, but everybody's eager to get back into work. Really looking forward to this partnership with the Western Branches Officiating Development season. And I want to leave you with this last note. Come into the season with a good attitude, come in shape, control what you can control, learn your rules, get into the rule book, know the return to play policies that are in place within your areas, and welcome back to the family. Get ready to get out there and earn your stripes, and have a good season.
Hello everyone, my name is Charles Bergstresser. I'm the Coordinator of Officials for Hockey Manitoba, and I want to welcome you to the third installment of our partnership with the Western Provinces and the WHL. Hockey Manitoba is looking very forward to the upcoming topics that will be discussed and released throughout the year. We also are looking to increase and grow our video library so we are better able to assist all of our young officials in the upcoming years. I hope everyone has a healthy and safe year, and I look forward to seeing you on the ice.
I think the branch coming up, huge supporter, of course, right? So they give you a lot of knowledge and information, and spend a lot of one-on-one time with you. Like I know coming up, I had a lot of mentors coming up from my branch back in Victoria and Powell River where I grew up. So I had a lot of people take me under their wing and show me a lot of just a lot of things just from basic when you're starting at 12 years old. So just a lot of just little things, just people taking the extra time for me.
The branch is where it all starts, and the branch is where you're taking the, the 2 or 3 games a day, and again, seeing as much hockey as you can at the branch level.
I grew up in Saskatchewan, and at the time we were very fortunate. I'm not as familiar now with the branch, but we were very fortunate that it gave young people a chance and supported you right from the get-go. And I think that just helped establish a good foundation. And again, they had people willing to give back to the game and act as supervisors.
Growing up in Winnipeg, we had great mentors of this game. I finished playing hockey when I was 17, turned to officiating, and was able to fall right into some great individuals that kind of led the way for me throughout my amateur career and gave me the skill set to continue on into my NHL career. As we got into the Western Hockey League and then on to the National Hockey League, we always kind of joke in the room with regards to where we're from and what association you came with or what province you came through. And I worked with guys like Rob Martel and Ryan Galloway, and it was always easy to ring the Manitoba bell, because not only did we say it, but we actually believed it. We showed the pride every day by, frankly, how we tried to treat other people within the game.
Officials at all levels need to be both physically and mentally prepared to the start of each season. Even though for many of us officiating is not a full-time job, our commitment and dedication must be the same as the professionals. Let's hear some thoughts from a few NHL officials on the importance of preparation.
Well, the game has certainly moved to a level of speed that we've never seen before at all levels, whether it's bantam hockey or the National Hockey League. The speed is the focus. The speed and skill. There's no more the rough and tumble style. It's about puck possession and moving it up fast. And I think that's important for us to be able to react accordingly. And that means maintaining fitness, working on skating, all those little things that to keep the game at that fast level, because it's certainly here to stay. I think the one thing that I've learned over the years is, instead of a up and down through the season and through the summer, I try and maintain a more status quo, so it's not as much of a challenge in the summertime to get back to that ready state of mind and level of fitness for the fall. If you can maintain it a little better year-round, it certainly makes the preparation a lot easier in the summertime.
Obviously, the physical part of the summer is keeping yourself in shape, and by keeping myself in shape, I mean the work started months ago. You know, the season had ended a while ago. You need to be able to continue with your fitness. You know that the players are working hard in the summer, and the players are getting themselves ready, so you need to be at their level and if not in better shape.
With the game the way it is, we need to be in shape just like the players. We need to be ready. You need to be up with your rules and stuff like that. So I think it's an everyday event, that there's always something that you're trying to hone and prepare for the upcoming season.
Shouts to all my lost boys. Shouts to all my lost boys. We rowdy. Shouts to all my lost boys. Shouts to all my lost boys. We rowdy. Shouts to all my lost boys. Shouts to all my lost boys. We rowdy. Shouts to all my lost boys.
Parker has the puck. He plays it up to Olsen. Olsen is in all alone. He shoots. He scores! What a play by Olsen!
Shouts to all my lost boys. We rowdy. Shouts to all my lost boys. 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 We rowdy. Shouts to all my shot, save, rebound,
Puck is played back to Mayo. Mayo is a one-timer. He shoots. He scores! What a goal!
Now it's his turn on a breakaway. Score!
The puck sees in front. Waterdot has it on his backhand. He shoots. He scores! Oh, what a goal! Look at that celebration!
Shouts to all my lost boys.
on, he shoots, he scores! And that is it. Team Saskatchewan has won the WHL Cup.